Hello everyone, good afternoon, good morning, or good night. You're here with Sadeezi with the weekly Fated Soul Love Connections for the week of March 1st through the 7th. And I already have the spread pulled out. I pulled this out like 2 nights ago, but as you know, I'm having technical issues, but God blessing, I will get I already have the tools I need, but I will get the equipment that I need to be able to properly record so that it doesn't look like I've gone back in time every time I do a reading. So just to get, oh yeah, and by the way, if I say he or she whenever I talk about the divine masculine or divine feminine, just know that genders do not matter. It's just all about the energy you lean more into. Trying to see if there's anything else. And yeah, I think that's it. If there's anything else, I'll just add it along. But so to get started, the first question that I asked Spirit was, what is the mutual overall energy between the divine masculine and divine feminine? And I will say that, well, never mind. But yeah, I did ask that question, like, what is the current overall energy between the divine masculine and divine feminine, like in general? Not so much towards each other, but just in general, when it comes to where they are individually on their journeys and where the connection is along its journey. And the first card I got is a change in the wind. And forgive the blurriness, but you know what's up. So when I got that card first, the first thing I got was transformation. That's the first that's just the first thing that came to mind whenever I saw that card, was transformation and changes. And so then the next thing I asked was, about the divine feminine and the divine masculine. I asked, what is the divine feminine's current overall energy in general? I wanted to get general energy first, like not so much to do specifically with the connection, but just like in general, where she is along her journey, and where she is where she is currently through everything. And the first card I got is first 2 cards I got were the 7 of Pentacles and the Fool, which is called the Dreamer in this deck. And the 7 of Pentacles is about patience. I also got, whenever I saw the 7 of Pentacles and the illustration on the card, it's a tree and its branches are like, whenever I saw the way the branches looked, I got, sorry, I saw something change. I got growth, because the way the branches are looking, like the way they like spread out like that, it's kind of like, and then I got blossoming, growth and blossoming. So she's just really in her own energy right now. It's kind of like she's watering what she's planted. She's watering what she's planted within herself. She's getting grounded. She's getting more into her own energy. And she's just taking this journey one step at a time, and she's like really appreciating every single part of it right now. She's, I don't know, the next card I got was the Crone, so that's why I say that. She's just really, when I say she's taking it one step at a time within this journey and just like really having gratitude, let me show you the card. The Crone. And it's an older woman there. But yeah, she's just enjoying every part of this journey now. I mean, even the tough parts, of course they're tough. Of course they may be painful whenever, memories come up or things like that, depending on whatever the situation may be or a situation may be, not even just to do with the connection. But she's kind of looking back on it and becoming enlightened on each part, and she appreciates, she's like comparing herself now to where she was, and she sees the growth, and it's kind of like that excites her, that the fact that she's more in flow on the journey, it just makes her feel really good, you know. So she's really getting comfortable in her own energy right now. That's where the feminines are. And because she's seeing it this way, her perspective is changing, which goes along with the change in the wind. Since her perspective is changing, her energy has changed, her focus has changed, you know. This has brought wisdom to her, you know. She's gained so much wisdom. That's what the crone is, you know. The crone is a very experienced energy. She's more mature. She's been through different experiences in her life, and she's throughout her journey, she's like, her perspective has changed, and she's able to see things in a totally different light and use the power. You see, she has a wand here that stood out to me. Use the power that right here. Use the power that she's gained, which I see that wand as, and like, use that wisdom as her support along this journey. And you know, it's also a staff, and you see staffs as support. You know, people use staffs or canes as support, right? It's not a cane for her, but you know what I mean. But yeah, and the dreamer, it's growing her faith. It's increasing her faith right now. You know, the Fool. You know, this journey has increased her faith so much, whereas before, her faith was really rocky. It wasn't stable. It didn't have a sturdy foundation. You know, it was constantly wading back and forth, which sometimes it still may do, but she's definitely more like, if she gets thrown off when it comes to her faith or her dreams or her hopes and things, she's able to come back to earth. She's able to get grounded. So, and that's another thing that I got with this Seven of Earth and this Fool together. So her faith is more grounded and more stable now. So she's really in her energy. And she's just gaining a lot of wisdom in this journey. Gained a lot of wisdom through this journey, and he's utilizing it to keep going. And then we have Imagine for her and her overall energy. So this also helps with her creativity and with her manifestation. Let me pause this. Sorry, I had to pause it. My grandmother stepped in for a second. So, like I said, the Imagine card. So this goes along with her creativity, her the ideas that she's been having, and her manifestation. So the things that she's attracting to herself. And because she's in a better flow right now, those things that she desires and the new beginnings, the new life that she's manifesting, even if she can't see it in the physical, her faith is more grounded now. So she's flowing easier with the journey, and it's bringing these things about. She's manifesting. She's in an energy of manifestation right now. And she's getting to know herself. So right now, the feminines are really in their own energy. She's all about her right now, and she's loving it. And, you know, she's really glad to be in that energy. I'm just getting a really calm, feel-good feeling right now, you know. And then the next card I have, which is the number 44, which I personally have been seeing a lot lately, is Get to Know Each Other. And even though it says get to know each other, I just see that as, I asked about the feminine's overall energy in her own, like in herself, or on her own journey, I mean. So I immediately got that she's gotten to know herself, or she's getting to know herself. We never stop learning about ourselves because we're constantly changing. So there's always something to learn when it comes to us, you know, when it comes to our own energy, when it comes to our own journeys. And it says, learning to meet another's need for love is important for a relationship to grow. So with that, I just got learning about yourself and nurturing yourself is important for your growth. Spending time in meditation and spending time in grounding, which again I get with that Seven of Pentacles, is important for your growth, your transformation, and for your ultimate success in going along in this journey and your attraction. And then another thing I noticed with the Crone and the Seven of Pentacles is, you can't see it honestly, but on the tree, if you can't see it, that's great. But on the tree there is a, it looks like an old lady's face, like an older woman's face, kind of like in Pocahontas with her ancestor, her ancestral mother. It looks like an old woman's face. There is actually an old woman's face on there if you have these cards, the Angel Tarot from Radleigh Valentine. If you look closely at the tree, there's a face on it, and you know, I thought of Mother Nature, so that's why I said old woman. And then we got the crone, so she's really becoming wise and becoming enlightened on this journey. So go divine feminines, that's very beautiful. And if there are any divine feminines that don't feel like they're there, you are getting there. That's all this means, is you are getting there. You are definitely on the path towards that, but you have to remain receptive and remain open, and keep your vibration high, and do the things you're being guided to do in order to be more balanced and more stable in your energy. Balancing and grounding is extremely important, and I think I'm going to make a separate video on the importance of balancing and grounding yourself, and the benefits of it. But anyway, the next let me see, I have to check the time, because as you can see, I am dressed for work. But the next question I asked Spirit was, where is the masculine's overall energy? And his just general energy, not with the feminine or anything, just his own energy. And we got the Three of Cups and Awakening, which is the Three of Cups and the Hanged Man. And the Three of Cups is about celebration. It's about good times, fulfillment, feeling fulfilled, like feeling like you've accomplished, like a feeling of accomplishment. And the Hanged Man is looking at things from a different perspective. That's the thing that always stands out to me with the Hanged Man anytime I get it, is looking at something from a different perspective. And it can also represent a pause, but this is just the divine masculine's energy. So, and the fact that he got awakened. So like, to me, on his own journey, whenever in my past readings, the divine masculine's journey has been really been about healing and deep introspection. Like deep introspection. Like divine feminines are getting to know themselves and everything, but they're just becoming grounded. They've always been on this journey, but like it's kind of going from like in and out of focus, you know, focused on this, focused on that, and it's kind of like taking it took them out of balance. So feminine's guidance was always to get balanced, focused, in acceptance, you know, and grounded and all of that. But the masculines have been guided to go within their feminine energy and pay attention to their emotions, give attention to their emotions, give nurturing to themselves, go into meditation, search deep within themselves. Like they've had to do a lot of deep introspective work, because they've been so on the surface that the inside hasn't had any work, you know. So yeah, like they've been distracting themselves from going within. So right now the masculines they're also in a way more in flow with their journey too. That's why they got the Three of Cups, you know. So they're awakening right now. They're in the process of awakening. It's like they've always been awakened, but they've been uncertain about it, you know. Like they brushed it off. It was like a thing that they brushed off, because it's like, what's awakening to them? Like they're like, what is awakening, you know? I don't really have time for that, because it's not gonna get me to where I need to be, which is always in the physical. Something that's always in the physical. Masculine energy is usually focused on the physical and what they can see and touch and all of that. But the masculines that I'm picking up on are really successfully going through their guidance and journey, and they're successfully doing balancing also. They got body and mind. That was the next card. They're balancing their mind and their heart, rather than just being solely in the mental, rather than just be solely focused on logic and what's logical and what makes sense because they can see it. They're going within and seeing the journey in a different perspective. They're seeing whenever I get the Hanged Man, it's kind of like, you see the Hanged Man is hanged upside down, right? So let's say when they were upright, that was kind of them on the surface, them focused on the physical and the 3D. But when they're hanged upside down, they see the physical, but they also see everything else. You know, their third eye is more open now. That's what awakening is. Their third eye is opening. So they're seeing, they see the physical, but it's kind of like they're kind of like looking past the physical and like, you know what, there's more to that. There's more to me. There's more to the actions that I took in the past. There's more to the things that I've said before. There's more to it. It's not just this. There's more to the anger that I have. There's more to the sadness that I have. So what is it? So so they're getting in. They're getting more in balance. They're successfully getting in balance with their body and their mind. It says body and mind, that too, but their mind and their heart, their emotions and their logic. It's getting more in balance, So that is wonderful. It's beautiful. And the next card I got for the masculines was serendipity. And serendipity is about luck, good fortune, opportunities allied with readiness. So opportunities coming after you've been prepared for something. But also, there was one thing in particular that stood out to me with that card. Sorry about all that. And grab the book. Like I always say, I don't always read the books that come with the cards. I only read specific ones that I'm drawn to. Excuse me, 1 second. 68. Oh, let's see. The awareness of synchronicity. That's what stood out to me. There are multiple things, but there was particular things that stood out to me. So the awareness of synchronicity. Like I said, they're in this hanged man energy, and they're able to see things. They're able to see what they see physically in a different perspective. They're not solely focused on the physical. They're not solely focused on their own physical journey. They're starting to go within, and they're doing a good job at this. They're successfully doing this. And it's tough for them. It takes a lot of strength to go somewhere you've never been. And that's scary, or to go somewhere you haven't been in a very long time, or to truly see yourself when you haven't seen yourself before. It's like, it can be scary depending on what it is you find, but it's important, it's worth it, and it needs to be done. It needs to be done with divine masculine and divine feminines, but it needs to be done at all times. And then for the masculines, the next card we got was be authentic to who you are and consider your foundation. And this is just confirmation. And then I always see the consider your foundation card in this deck in particular, like the 10 of Cups, because of the house and the family on the outside. Is it a family? Well, it's a couple, but usually with the 10 of Cups, like in a regular tarot, you see a house and the 10 of Cups over in a rainbow, and kids and a couple, or just a couple. This one's just a couple, but so I get firming and reinforcing. The masculines are firming and reinforcing their own foundations so that they can be authentic, so that they can open up in general, not just towards the feminine, but open up just towards themselves, so they can really see who they are, and so that anytime they come across anyone, any other soul, they're not being inauthentic. They're removing the mask, basically. They're removing their mask. They're being authentic to their emotions. They're able to properly express themselves whenever they're angry, whenever they're sad, if they're happy about something. They're able to properly express themselves. Again, the main energy was a change in the wind. So they're going from being this closed up, this rigid, they're having this rigid exterior, solely focused on the logic. All of this is turning around. So they're firming they're reinforcing their foundation, and in order to be authentic, they're taking off the mask in order to be authentic to who they truly are. This goes along with their goals, their dreams. They're not just working because, I have to be successful. I have to look like I'm doing something. I have to look like I'm grinding. I have to look like I have to prove this to people. I have to prove myself. No. Now they're working from an authentic place. Like, I'm doing this because I had an idea and I just got to jot it down. I'm doing this because I really love to do this, and I feel like I could fulfill my purpose in benefiting the world. There's always a higher purpose for us. And for the Be Authentic to Your Heart, it says, you are asked to be real and true pertaining to who you are and how you feel. And yeah, okay, that's the one that stood out to me. The other one, it was just to consider your foundation. And I got the message in itself, not so much what it says. And then now, so the next thing I asked Spirit was, what is the Divine Feminine overall energy when it comes to the masculine and the connection? And to be honest, whenever I got all her cards, and I'll show you guys, Divine Feminines are really, I can't emphasize how deep off into themselves that Divine Feminines are. I was actually shocked. Whenever I pulled the cards, I was expecting to see, oh, she wants to run to the masculine, and oh, the masculine, she misses the masculine. But the feminines are really in their own energy. They're focused on their own abundance, their inner abundance, in order to attract their external abundance. And it did come up that the feminine has strong love for the masculine. It's kind of like the feminines are saying, oh, my love for the masculine is definitely still here, but there's uncertainty. The first thing that came up was uncertainty, pretty much, for the feminines, because it's like she's kind of caught in the middle. She's like, I love the masculine, but I still have some concerns on the way things ended. Like, I'm not focused on the way things ended, but I'm feeling good in my energy right now, and I don't want to throw that off by experiencing the same things that I experienced in the past with him. So feminines are doing a great job on their own journey and everything, but they're still kind of dealing with the perception of the masculine, like how they see the masculine. They don't have a hard, firm, set in stone perspective of the masculine, as in, he's an asshole, he's like this or like that. It's like, no, I truly believe the masculine can change, or can make the necessary changes to benefit not only himself, but if he were to come forward or whatever, I believe he can make the necessary changes, like to grow and mature and have a more broad perspective. But I just, it's kind of like she's still like, I just want to play it safe, just focus on myself. I'm not really too concerned with the masculine right now, so I'm not even going to get off into that. That's basically like what that's basically the feminine's overall energy with the masculine. So the reason why I say that is because the first 4 cards I got was the 10 of Wands, the 4 of Cups. Let me show you guys. 10 of Wands, 4 of Cups, the Tower, and the 2 of Swords. I don't know if you can see all of them. So, yeah, the last one was the 2 of Swords. So it's like I said, she's really caught in between. The 4 of Cups, I see it as meditation, spending time in meditation, and really focused on the self, not so much focused on whether or not the masculine comes forward to offer a cup of anything. And the Tower represented she's not only affirming her own foundation too, but like Tower moment is like things that seem like they're falling apart, and it's a significant life change. So just checking the time again. Yeah, it's a significant life change. So like that was representing the experiences that she had in the past with the masculine. And the tower is a good thing. It's like it was a significant life change that may have involved pain, but ultimately pushed her along this journey to focusing on herself and her goals and her passions, and like getting grounded and in this manifesting energy and in this attracting energy. But it's like she's like, I don't know if when it comes to masculine, like I know I have love for him, but I don't know if I'm just really focused on myself. Like that's what it is. It's like I'm focused on myself, and I don't really want to have any drama right now, basically. And for the feminines and her overall energy towards the masculine, the next 4 cards I got were the 4 of Pentacles, and I'm showing you because of the illustrations, and I'll explain why. Abundance. That actually says abundance on the bottom. The Queen of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups, I got 2 messages with that. So she's filling up her own cup and focus on her own cup. But the stronger message that did come out was, yes, I have love for the masculine. But everything else was like, I'm focused on my own abundance. I'm persevering through my journey. I'm becoming stronger right now within my journey. Let me see. There was something else that came with the 4 of Pentacles. I love this deck because it has broader meanings when it comes to traditional tarot. More personal meanings. Where is it? Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Gaining her stability, making steady progress, and enduring on her journey. And, right. And, like I said, focusing on her abundance. And she's in this Queen of Swords energy, which sometimes I see as lacking perspective, but that's not it in this case. She's just like building solid boundaries for herself, and that's part of that kind of like, not so much playing it safe, but playing it safe energy. Like, yeah, I'm just like, it's better for me to, I know it's just better for me to focus on myself, basically. So that's that Queen of Swords energy. In this case, I'm not getting so much of like a cold, cutting energy on it so much. It's like, I'm just, gaining my clarity right now. And then the Ace of Cups, which is filling up her own cup, but that just shows confirmation for her, for the cup that she has for the masculine, the feelings that she has for the masculine. The next card I got was No Place Like Home. So with this, I got that the masculine does feel like home to her, but she feels like more like home to herself right now. And again, that's what this card is all about. No place like home. It's about coming home, being able to come home to yourself and being 100% comfortable in your own energy, with or without the masculine. There, Sorry, I had hair on my lip. But yeah, so, and then the last 2 that I got for her overall energy towards the masculine was take a chance on love and focus on love. So with the taking a chance on love, what did I get with that? It's kind of going back to, okay, I have love for the masculine, and deep down inside she does want to take a chance on it, even though she is like 99.9% focused on her journey. She does want things, she does want to move towards calmer water, towards the masculine, or with the masculine, excuse me, to move towards calmer waters with the masculine. And like I was saying, okay, that card reminded me, I mentioned earlier, that she doesn't have she's kind of dealing with this perspective of the masculine still, like it's still in the shifting process. She doesn't see the masculine as a bad guy or anything, but she's not sure where he is on his journey because she's so focused on hers. She knows things are moving forward with him, but she doesn't know how things would be between she and him, and the focus on love says look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life. Look for the good attributes within each and every person in your life. So that was just confirmation that she's when it comes to the masculine, she wants things to move forward, and she's healing her perspective on the masculine. It's I know, he's a beautiful person, he's a beautiful soul, that's why I love him. That's why I started this journey with him pretty much without even realizing it. And I know that now. It's just, we went through so many turbulent times, or we had so many tower moments, and it pushed me on, these tower moments pushed me on my journey, and now I'm finally at a good place. So I don't want to add any drama. I don't want to F that up, but I do want things to, I would like for things to, you know, move to a better place with the masculine if he were to ever come forward. And the perspective of the masculine is shifting right now. So with the masculines, with their overall energy towards the feminine, the first 4 cards I got was the 8 of Wands, which represents communication, quick moving energy, and it could also represent traveling if you guys are in 2 separate places. But I got more so communication, the desire to communicate. I got the 5 of Cups, the Death, but it says release, the Death card, and the 10 of Swords. Immediately with these cards, I got regret. That's what the 5 of Cups is. The 5 of Cups is a feeling of regret over, and in this situation, like something may have gone down between you guys, or multiple things may have gone down, just the way the energy that the masculine showed towards you may not have been the best. And I got regrets and reconciliation, and I got reconciliation because of the Death card, transformation. So the desire to turn things around, the desire to move towards calmer waters. So they're both in the same place with that. But like I said, feminines are really focused on themselves right now, but the masculines are in a place where they're like in a place of like reflection and consideration on taking action. Like they really have a desire to take action, but there's emphasis on the word desire. They want to do it, but they're not quite in an action phase right now, because the only action card we got was the 8 of Wands. The rest of it is more transformative, mental, and emotional. The next one I got was emotion and intellect. So there's, again, he got body and mind before in his own energy, and now he has emotion and intellect. Like I said, with the body and mind, I said he not only is he balancing his body and mind, he's balancing his mind and his heart, his logic and his emotions, emotion and intellect. So it's all tying in together. And like I said, in my past readings, that's exactly what the masculines were doing. Balancing their minds and emotions, introspective work, healing. Healing came up so much for the masculine. Healing, balance. And then I got the 2 of Swords, which you see how it's black and white here? He's starting, like I said, his perspective is changing. He got the Hanged Man, he's awakening. So he's starting to see that things are not as black and white. He's starting to see that gray area, which also aids in his like feeling of regret. He's like, oh man, you know, now that I see more, now that I've realized so much more along my journey, you know, when it comes to the way he feels towards the the way he feels towards the feminine, it's like, now I better understand, you know, why I did this. And, you know, I didn't have to go about it that way, but in a way he kind of did. There's a feeling of regret, you know, so he's seeing it that way, but in a way he kind of did, in order for him to truly heal, completely heal that energy, so that, you know, he makes better choices. So he's starting to see the gray area. He's starting to see past what he sees. His third eye is opening. He's awakening, which we got in his own overall energy. He's becoming more stable and balanced in his own foundation. He's reinforcing his foundation. He's healing. And in this journey, he feels regretful. He does feel regretful, and he desires reconciliation, because we also got healing. He's healing, and he would like to heal the 10 of Swords energy that came up. And another, I'm just now realizing this, another correlation I made when getting his overall energy towards the feminine was the Death card, the release. He wants to release the old situation. He wants to let go of the things that happened between you guys in the past. He wants to have a fresh start. And the bottom of this card says, I'm only going to read one part of each. The end of a phase or situation, the Death. 10 of Swords says, the end of a difficult situation. So that regretful feeling is real. He does really feel regretful. and he wants reconciliation. He wants to bring an end to old energy, to that old energy, not only his own energy, but the old energy that he and the divine feminine were in. After healing, we got the King of Pentacles. So he wants to be in this King of Pentacles energy. The King of Pentacles is a king who's very balanced in his physical world and his spiritual world. He's balanced in his mind and his heart. He's balanced in his emotions and his logic. He's balanced in his body and in his mind. So, and whenever he does come forward, he comes forward able to make balanced decisions that and approach things in a different way, because he's gained a new perspective. He's taken his time. Pentacles are slow moving. Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight of them all. So he was in the, he went from the page to the knight to the king, so the page was not moving at all. The knight is very, very slow moving, taking his time, very methodical. It's like, okay, taking his time on the journey in order to get to this King of Pentacles energy, so that he's able to take calculated action, And then the next card we got was Unfinished Symphony, which is also a card that says 10. The number is 10 on there. 10 stood out for me, so what's it called? So the 10 of Swords and then that Unfinished Symphony is like, I don't want this to end where it is. That's what I got with the masculine. It's like, I don't want this to end where it is right now. I don't exactly know what to do when it comes to taking action, but, and then I pulled like 5 cards when it came to these here, but because I just kept seeing, I kept being drawn to certain cards, so whatever Spirit tells me to pull, I'll pull. I try not to make it too many. I'm have to be talking to Spirit. I'm like, okay, I don't have a lot of room here. But the first card I got was Actions Speak Loudly. Express your love through your actions. The masculines want to take action. They don't know how though. So they're trying to tune into their heart. It says turn on your heart light. Allow yourself in this moment to reflect on a time when you experience love. So they're trying to, like I said, balance their mind and heart in order to make a decision. Calculated decision. The best decision. But also, this card, I was getting the message that the masculine wants to take action because, since he was able to see the gray areas, since he was able to see past his old perspective, like he was completely able to shift his perspective, so that increased his gratitude for not only the situation between the masculine and the feminine, but also appreciate the feminine and her energy, genuinely be grateful for her energy. And it kind of like he's kind of reminiscing on the nurturing feeling that he got from the feminine, and the experiences the energetic and spiritual experiences that he did have with the feminine. And he's like awakening to that. Like I said, he had awakening. That was in his energy. Seeing things in a different perspective. And the next 3 cards I got for the masculine was Have patience. Patience is, love is patient and kind. I'm trying to watch the time. Make sure I'm good. Okay. I have to go here soon. Forgiveness. And it says, nothing can be gained by holding on to past disappointments. And spiritual connection. So, like I said, with that turn on your heart light, he's seen the feminine for who she truly is, not only in her own energy, but what she was for him. And noticing the significance of that. And realizing that the connection that they have is truly spiritual. They're connected on a soul level. So, and he desires forgiveness. Like he hopes that he can be forgiven. And he's trying to wait for the right time. Like that's why he's not really in this action-oriented energy. He's trying to really, along with doing his own introspective work on himself, he's also trying to tune into his higher self and his intuition, so that he can make the right decisions. King of Pentacles, make the right decisions on when and how he should come forward. So if he's going to come forward, so First card, overall, a change in the wind. And there's been a complete shift with the feminines and the masculines, both in their own journey, their own energy, but also in their energy towards each other. With the feminines towards the masculine, it's the way she's seeing the masculine. And, the way she's seeing the masculine. And his actions and everything. With the masculines, it's the way that he's seeing the feminines, and they're really going back and going through everything that they've been through together, and just taking a totally different look at it. Everything's just turning around. So that is it, guys. This was a really beautiful reading. I hope it resonated with some of you, if not all of you who are watching. If it did, please leave a comment down below. I would love to hear it. If you would like to leave anything personal about your situation, please leave it down. You don't have to, though. If Spirit's guiding you to keep it private, keep it private. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I'll try to list all my decks down below. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Maybe not. Well, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, night, or morning, your day, and tune in for I'll be posting the weekly general, the general weekly reading pretty soon here for this week. I'm hoping before the week ends. So just look out for that, and you guys have a wonderful day. And I'll do my best to have the same too. Love you guys.